America at this time was like one of those games where you have to build a world, a social network of farmers and planters. And if you weren't a farmer planter, then you were a missionary. So you were either dirt folk or church folk, everyone working to grow on stolen land. Obviously, there were native neighbors weren't happy about any of this because their world was being broken while a new world was being built, planted one seed at a time. That seed? Tobacco. A man named John Pory, a defender of cursed slavery, the cousin of one of the early major landowners, was named America's first legislative leader. First thing he did was set a price for tobacco, seeing it would be the country's cash crop. But if tobacco was really going to bring in some money, if it was really going to be a natural resource used to power the country, then they would need more human resource to grow it. See where this is going? In August 1619, a Spanish ship called the San Juan Batista was hijacked by two pirate ships. The Batista was carrying 350 Anglicans because Latin American slave owners had already figured out their own slave trading system and enslaved 250,000 people. The pirates robbed the Batista, taking 60 of the Anglicans. They headed east, eventually coming upon the shores of Jamestown, Virginia. They sold 20 Anglicans to that cousin of John Pory, the one with all that land, who happened also to be the governor of Virginia. His name was John Yeardley, and those 20 slaves for Yeardley and Pory were right on time to work. But remember, think about it. America was full of planters and missionaries, and the new slaves would cause a bit of a conflict between the two. For the planter, the slave was a big help and could be the 4-digit code to the American ATM. Here comes the cash. On the flip side, missionaries coming down the line of Puritanism and Zorar's propaganda felt slavery was a means to salvation. Planters wanted to grow profits, while missionaries wanted to grow God's kingdom. No one cared that the enslaved wanted which to start would have not wanted to be enslaved. They definitely didn't want the religion of their masters, and their masters resisted too. Enslavers weren't interested in hearing anything about converting their slaves. Saving their crops each year was more important to them than saving souls. It was a harvest of humanity, and the excuses they gave to avoid baptizing slaves were Africans were too barbaric to be converted. Africans were too savage at the soul. Africans couldn't be loved, even by God.